Okay, thank you.
Um, huh, it's just like so much. Everyone in here, did y'all even write a book? How you doing? Hey, girl, hey. You know, did you write a book, interested in a book or whatever? I work a lot with either, it's a spectrum between the author, speaker, coach world or the entertainment world. And so when I talk to the author, speaker, coaches, and everybody want to tell their story about how they got their assets beat down and all that stuff, I just want people to understand that there's a privacy issue. Like the person who allegedly tormented you, they still have a right to have their privacy, right? And a lot of people are like, but that's my story. Well, there's so many authors who get sued because they are putting someone else out on Front Street, right? Especially when you're a transformational author, and I'm a God girl, and so I know we're walking epistles, but you just have to understand that there is a law. And I look at my life now, and sometimes I'm still a little messy, but I was messier like 20 years ago. And if somebody wrote their story about Tony Moore 20 years ago, I would feel some kind of way. You know what I mean? And under the rules, you know, if it's a case, then they can object. They can get an attorney, they can shut you down, they can do an injunction. But when you put your business and allegedly their business out there and there's no records to back your thing up, then you can get sued. So I always tell people to just watch the words. They may be your word, but as my husband reminded me over 21 years of marriage, that it may be right, but it may not be expedient.
Tell her I can't fill for
I would
long. I
advise
gotta go on
anyone
the phone.
to
It's way too
identify
long.
what
And I
kind
told her
of
that.
writer they would like to be, and then hone the craft so that they get there. So you hone your craft by going to the public library and taking out books on the craft, or even buying them wherever you buy your books on the craft of writing, identifying what aspects of the craft you're particularly weak in. I know, as in weak, I was strong in dialogue, but weak in setting and description. So I had to research on and learn how to get better in that area, because I understood that I was not Toni Morrison as much as I wanted to be Toni Morrison. So I let go of the delusions of Toni Morrison. I took some workshops, different workshops, novel writing, creative writing, and poetry writing. So between the workshops and reading the books on the craft, and then surrounding yourself with a network of writers. Once you surround yourself with a network of writers, you no longer feel like you're an alien. There's a whole community of people who have the same quirks that you do. So once you get to that space, you allow yourself to create, and at that point, you're able to find your authentic writing voice, and that's where the real writing begins.
I would just say, I believe that everybody has the ability to be an author. You know, everybody has a different story, everybody has a life story, and none of our stories are the same. So I would just say that, what my mentor one of my mentors told me before I wrote my book, is say, listen, just gain a topic that you want to talk about and write down, 12 ideas about it, and those are ideas about it as your chapters. So from there, whatever topic that you're talking about, or you want to relate to, or even when it comes to your life, write those things down, because a lot of people will be able to relate to your story and to your life. So whether it's fiction or it's a nonfiction, I just encourage you to just write everything down. Even if you type it, whatever you have to do, and worry about the corrections in the process, because everything is a process, And like Tony said, if you're writing about your life, you have to think about the legal aspect of it, and you have to, really